Hi lovely people, welcome and welcome back to my channel. The moment Ariana fans have waited 4 long years for is finally here. Ariana has dropped her long-awaited 7th studio album, Eternal Sunshine, so today, I wanted to hop on here to do a quick review of the highly anticipated project. I feel like I have spent the last 2 years just waiting, hoping, praying that Ariana would make her comeback to music, but now that she's back, it doesn't really feel real just yet, but here we are. On the first track, Intro End of the World, Ariana bluntly asks the burning question of how can I tell if I'm in the right relationship, which automatically sets the tone for the theme and trajectory of this album. Ariana goes on to throw out what ifs such as if the sun refused to shine, or if the moon went dark, or if the world ended tomorrow, would her partner still be there with her and love her the same way? It is a thought-provoking and relevant question to ask, especially for someone who is seemingly a hopeless romantic like Ariana. The second track, Bye, automatically became a fan favorite for me because the 70s old school disco production sounded like a breakup anthem from the first listen, but upon listening to it again, it really is an amicable, respectful, sonic parting of ways, if that makes sense. When describing the creation and inspiration for the song, Ariana said Bye was the hardest song to create, in which she said, quote, "It was hard for the reason that I desperately did not want it to sound like a FU. I wanted it to sound like, I need to leave, so bye. I want it to be rooted in self-awareness, not a F you go, but with love. I am immigrating from the situation. That is why I put it after the intro, because it asks questions that takes accountability and is self-aware, and then going into Bye is prefacing it. I wanted to empower people to make sure it is kind and leads with empathy. It is still fun, but I wanted to make sure it's not any sort of harshness that is in my DNA," unquote. Ariana went on to say that, quote, "The reason I felt okay to go there is because of my mom. Growing up, you want what you don't have. My parents got divorced for all of the right reasons. They were not supposed to be together, so you crave when you grow up the happily ever after and cling on to the fairy tale and tend to self-abandon. My mom is a fierce example of not doing that, and the massive thing I learned in my year of Saturn Return is that my fears of replicating a certain cycle was actually the opposite. I want to have the strength to say bye kindly when something isn't effing right. She is the strongest, most brilliant person I know, and it is also a disco track, so it feels like my mom's favorite thing in the whole world. So it feels like my mom's song or something that I wrote from her perspective," unquote. I hope Ariana releases Bye as a single soon because I think commercially it would do well to appeal to the masses. Lyrically, even though it isn't the strongest, it accomplishes the goal of her saying bye to a situation that no longer serves her. The third track, Don't Wanna Break Up, once again exemplifies the complexities of ending what Ariana describes as a situationship. I think this song may be the most relatable to people because there are people who have or are suffering from the mixed feelings of not wanting to break the heart of the person they are with due to guilt, promises made, or personal vows that a person makes to themselves to stay committed to a person or situation. I think the song is a perfect placement after Bye because it accurately highlights the polarizing feelings people face when they aren't in the healthiest relationship but are too afraid to officially end. The fourth track, which is a Saturn Return interlude, is a spoken word from astrologist Diana Garland, who was introduced by Ariana's choreographer. When Ariana first heard the clip, her producer Alia put orchestration on the recording, and Ariana decided to put it on her album as she cried the first time she heard it. Ariana says she uses astrology as a tool for hope and awareness, and it's helpful to guide people to make sense of things. Given that, I think this interlude showcases the self-discovery and spiritual epiphany Ariana faced as she turned 30 last June. It is an effective representation of the shift Ariana, as well as the album, is taking at this point. The title track and fifth song on the album, Eternal Sunshine, is a transparent and candid divulgence of Ariana's experiences and regrets of her former relationship. She reveals in a subtle way all of the supposed wrongdoings of her ex, while feeling sorry for herself with all of the personal secrets and admissions she revealed to him. I love the outro of the song the most because it sounds like personal affirmations and reminders to herself that fulfills the plot point of the Eternal Sunshine movie. Let's just take a deep breath, hit the reset button, and start a new chapter free of memories of her former situation. The sixth track, Supernatural, is yet another added song in the lustful and aroused playlist of Ariana Grande. Given Ariana's track record for tracks like these, it is expected to hear sensually suggestive songs like Supernatural. But I think what really elevates this track is the production that is really tailor-made for the subject material. Ariana wants to feel or is currently feeling a transportive, passionate closeness with her partner that is difficult to let go. The seventh track, True Story, is a song Ariana describes as an untrue story based on all untrue events. The song was actually leaked around June 2023, in which Ariana disappointingly responded on TikTok by saying, "Oh, this is so disheartening. I was going to come back to this hook to use eventually. I don't know how people are still doing this, but please stop." It was initially supposed to be included in a batch of songs Ariana was working on for a Seth MacFarlane TV show, but Ariana wanted to reclaim the song to make it into the version we are hearing now. My favorite part of the song was when Ariana said,
I'll play the villain if you need me to. I know how this goes, yeah. I'll be the one you pay to see, play the scene.
I think it really highlights Ariana's 2023 in a nutshell. Whether it's playing Glinda in The Wicked or being the star of her own divorce relationship saga, in which all kinds of narratives were thrown her way, Ariana was slandered in every single way and was painted as the villain based on how stories were published or sensationalized. It seems to me that even though Ariana is well aware of the possible misconceptions people have of her, she has no desire to publicly clear anything up and is willing to play along to the media circus of whatever scandal is trending at the moment. I never heard the original leak, so I'm not sure how it sounded, but I think it was a blessing in disguise that it was leaked because this version is a much more relevant and a timely response to the untruths of Ariana's life. When Ariana revealed on the Zane Lowe show that she has a song called The Boy Is Mine, which is a reimagining of the 1998 global hit The Boy Is Mine by Brandy and Monica, I was very fearful. I felt this could go horribly wrong, or it could be somewhat tolerable. Thankfully, it is less of a cover. In an imaginative one-woman show, Ariana is confessing of her hopeless, provocative desire to claim the man she desperately wants. I don't think there is any harm in the lyrics of this song, because we have classic R&B songs like My Little Secret from Escape, or the song You're the One by SWV, which expresses the naughty feeling of simply wanting someone else's man. Ariana's The Boy Is Mine version may be more controversial now, as opposed to if it was released in 2018, given her tumultuous relationship scandal last year, so critics and the general public may judge it more harshly, but I think it is a fun and quite hilarious song, honestly. For the sake of being redundant, I'm going to bypass Yes and because I have done not one, but two in-depth review videos in my Yes and review video and my new music review videos of the song and remix with Mariah Carey that is linked in the description that you should definitely check out. But contrary to popular belief, I think this song fits perfectly in the context of this album, as this sets the stage of the album where Ariana is just saying, I am who I am and I don't care what people say because there are people who are going to be negative regardless. The 10th track, We Can't Be Friends, is a raw, genuine, and truthfully sad song. This song seems to be the end result of the Eternal Sunshine track. It is an effective, gloomy song that is mourning the good memories that was once had in a relationship. I appreciate the music video for two reasons. One, because Evan Peters, duh. And two, because it shows the heavy emotional toll of officially eradicating the reflections of someone who meant so much to you. But on another note, it shows that what might be the best for both parties is to accept that being friends is no longer a viable option, and leaving each other behind in a figurative sense is much more beneficial. I like Variety's description of the song, in which they said, but the most affecting verses are the sad ones. There's little anguish, just the kind of sadness when you know it's over and feel sorry and angry and guilty and resigned while trying not to think about how much you'll miss the person, especially on the album's second single, We Can't Be Friends. The song channels the rhythm from Robyn's Dancing on My Own and has a descending chord progression on the chorus that makes it feel like your heart is sinking with it. We can't be friends, but I like to just pretend and wait until you like me again. I Wish I Hated You, which is the 11th song of this album, is one that I think is the most important song on this project because it shows our humanistic side of, yes, this marriage was flawed, yes, we made our mutual mistakes, but I can accept and acknowledge the goodness and efforts from her ex, and that does not require acting as if he was a monster who ruined everything. It is a very melancholic track that was probably made when Ariana was in the depths of her sadness, but it is a full circle realization that she is able to make peace with how things ended, while also protecting the reputation of her ex. The second to last song, Imperfect for You, is what Ariana describes as her favorite song on the album, which features a simple and bare acoustic guitar-focused song that feels like an admittance of Ariana's perceived imperfections and accepting who she is at this current point. It is not my favorite, but it is a mature development of songs we have heard from Ariana's past introspective tracks. The outro track, Ordinary Things, featuring Ariana's Nonna, is a heartwarming, noble, and meaningful answer to the question posed in Ariana's intro track about how does she know if she is in the right relationship. I think the contribution from someone who is obviously seasoned and experienced in Ariana's life is an immaculate culmination of a person and an album that is seeking truth, answers, and self-discovery during the milestone age of 30. Life is all about how someone makes you feel and all the little priceless things that make you fall in love with them all over again. Overall, this album is absolutely not what I expected to hear. I had hoped for either a predominantly R&B or house dance pop record that would take over the radio, summer, and party scene, but I'm grateful that this project probably brought some healing to Ariana. I can imagine ending a marriage is a traumatic experience, and with that event brought unimaginable sadness, yet also brought forth a transformational epiphany that Ariana wanted to express musically. Production-wise, Max Martin and Alia Samanzadeh delivered as usual and accurately produced sounds that illuminated the emotional path that Ariana was on. So far, this album is much better than Positions in my opinion because it features subject material that people may not understand now, specifically Ariana's younger fans, but may appreciate later down the line. This is like the pop version of Kendrick Lamar's Miss Morale and the Big Steppers album, where it may rank low on their discography, but the intention and thought behind it was pure. Though Ariana considers this a concept album, I would not exactly classify it as that, but I do appreciate how short the album is. I cannot stand unnecessarily lengthy albums, so I admire her artistic growth of not only writing the majority, if not all the songs, but being able to concisely structure her thoughts, perspective, and most noticeably her enunciation in a well-explained approach. All in all, I give this album a 9. Let me know in the comments what you all think of Eternal Sunshine. What are some of your favorite songs, and where do you rank this album in Ariana's discography? Tell me your honest thoughts. This is a safe place, I promise. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell, and I'll see you next time.